What is going on, YouTube? So we have another video today talking about the physical versus digital era is coming on and why is physical games. I've done a video like this in the past and you guys enjoyed it, but this is kind of a step forward, or step back I should say, for the physical collectors and a step forward for people that don't care and just go for digital. Now we're going to jump over to an article that was recently released, especially with about JEDI Survivor that's coming out, and it's just insane, guys. These people, it's a bunch of bullcrap. I'd like to swear, but we're in the first minute of this video and I can't really do that, so we're just going to jump over to it and kind of look at this. So some of you people have been seeing this now, and yeah, this is insane. So what JEDI Survivor is doing with physical copies should be illegal. Physical copies of JEDI Survivor aren't actual copies, but the keys that unlock access to the digital version of the game. So essentially what this video is about is, I don't think it was in the US yet, but in some other countries over the world, I think it was specifically, we'll look in here, but New Zealand, but people went to buy the game physically. They went to the store, they bought it. I think right here it even says GameStop, right down in here. They bought the case, they got it home, and they opened it up, and it was a freaking code inside. Not the physical disc, nothing like that, just the code. So we're going to look it over right here. So pretty soon we're going to have to stop using the term physical copy to refer to boxes you buy at a store with pictures of video games on the front. When you pick up a plastic case with a PS5 logo on it and the title of a video game on front, pay GameStop $70 and take it home, you may think what you just did was buy a physical copy of the game. And then when you'll crack open the case and pop out the disc, you likely think you're holding a game that is now a tangible, permanent copy of the game pressed on a Blu-ray that now belongs to you forever. However, if the disc you're holding says Star Wars JEDI Survivor on it, you'd be dead wrong. So I know a lot of people are torn right now between this going on. People, I was actually looking at Reddit and boards and stuff like that, and they're like, why does it matter? It's a digital era. You basically essentially are playing the game digitally when you buy it anyways, because a lot of times you just buy the disc and you install it on your storage and that's how it goes. But a lot of us are noticing too with certain stuff is you're getting delisted games. You're getting games like that you once owned that you can't get it back now digitally. For example, right now if you bought a bunch of stuff off the Wii U shop, it closed down and stuff like that now, and some of that stuff's not even working anymore. So what's that mean to you? It means if for some reason your hard drive wipes, you crash your Wii U or something like that, and you go someday to get back on there, your games are gone. Everything's closed down. You can't re-get your games back. And that's why this stuff is, you're basically not even buying the game. You're buying the license to the game. A lot of people have been talking about this, but you're not buying the game. So here we go on. It turns out the physical version of JEDI Survivor does not actually contain the game, at least not all of it. Early copies of the game hit store shelves in New Zealand last weekend, and fans on Reddit noticed some tiny, easy to miss fine print on the front of the box that says download required. Apparently after you insert the game and install it to the system, you can only play through the intro mission before you're prompted to download the rest of the game. If for whatever reason you're unable to do so, then the disc disguised as a video game you just bought is useless. So essentially you're buying a demo disc. I don't know if some of you are old enough to know what demo discs were like back in the day, but you would essentially get a disc from either a game, a magazine, or something like that. And a lot of times it was you got to play, 30 minutes of it. You got to play the first mission in something just to give you kind of a glimpse of what was going on. Now, a lot of us saw recently with the Resident Evil 4 remake, the Chainsaw demo. That is essentially what you bought, was something to just get you hyped, to get you excited for the game, so that way when it finally came out, or you got money and you were able to go buy it, you'd freaking buy it. So JEDI Survivor isn't the first game to pull this crap. It's just another example in a worrying trend over the last few years. As Kotaku points out, Hogwarts Legacy also locked physical copy owners out after the tutorial until they downloaded the rest of the game. Halo Infinite's disc was similarly incomplete in Call of Duty and stuff like that. And I just actually purchased Hogwarts Legacy, so I will be able to confirm or deny this later on when I install the game and play it. But I mean, a lot of places have been doing this in the past. But they easily disguise it as when you start, you put the game in, you start playing the game, you get through a little bit of it. I know, I think I've seen this with Dark Souls and some other games like this, where I got through the first part, and then when it unlocks the big part of the game, and you go farther on, it will say you cannot go on beyond this point until the rest of the game installs. I understand that games nowadays are a lot bigger than they used to be. Everything's, a lot larger and stuff, but this is becoming ridiculous, because what happens if you play somewhere and you don't have the internet, or it's just, yeah. So, let's see. The physical copies of all these games are not copies of the game. They're just keys that you have to insert in your console to get access to a digital copy of the game. I want to distinguish this trend from Day 0 or Day 1 patches, because I've seen a lot of people misconstruing that the JEDI Survivor situation is just a typical patch. EA is largely responsible for the confusion here, since it calls this a mandatory download at Day 1 on its website. But this is just a lie on top of a lie. Day 1 patches are meant to be updates that further polish the game after the point in which the physical copies are pressed, shipped, and sold. So that way, if they send out the games and stuff like that, if something happens, they get a game-ending glitch or something's not working right, they can quickly patch it up, and then you can download it and get it fixed. Let's see. Day 1 patches are meant to... Let's see here. Why is that? Oh, wow, that's weird that I randomly got a subscription on there, so please ignore that. I use my Steam element. Alright, so this is just a lie. While I have plenty of reservations about how this practice is used to rush out unfinished games, it's important to recognize that the Day 1 patches are very different than selling people a blank disc. So I understand that too. A lot of times companies will rush out a game, get it pressed, get it ready to go, because they have deadlines that they have to do. And if they don't get them out on time, you run into a lot of issues. This kind of thing is just a nightmare for game preservations and collectors and stuff like that in general, especially people that want to build a collection and own copies of stuff, because let's say down the road I don't want to get a PlayStation 6. I don't want to get some of this other stuff down the road, and then they shut off the Sony network for PS5, and I will no longer be able to play this game. I won't. They'll shut it down, and if I can't, let's say my PS5, one of my kids get on there, or in the future their grandkids get on there, and they delete my save file, and I go to try and play this again, I might not ever be able to play this. Owning a physical copy of a game used to have a guarantee that it would continue to exist no matter what happens in time, but we have no such guarantee anymore with these games. With Sony and Microsoft and support for the PS5, hey, here we go. Like I just said, with Sony and Microsoft and support for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X in 20 years, will it even be possible to download this game again, or this mandatory update? We have no way of knowing, and that's what it is. You have no way of knowing if down the road you'll be able to re-download this game if something should happen. If for some weird reason Microsoft goes under and clears bankruptcies and closes servers down, you might not even be able to play this game again. Preservation and distrust for digital games aren't the only reason to buy physical. You might want to give it to somebody as a gift, or have the option to resell it later on once you've been done playing it. And that's one main thing that I used to love to do, was I'd buy a brand new game, I'd play through it, do what I wanted with it, and I'm not a completionist. I'm not somebody that likes to replay games 100 times in a row and collect all the items. I just like to play through it for the story and then be done. You won't be, and then resell it, get some of my money back, and go towards my another one. But like this says here, if this all turns to digital down the road, you can't resell a digital game. As of right now anyways. You may not even be able to enjoy having a shelf full of plastic cases regardless of what's inside. I have no problem with physical boxes for Fortnite codes, because they're clearly labeled up front, and that's what they are. And Fortnite's free, so I mean, we all know that that's how that game is. We're not getting tricked. JEDI Survivor and games like this are dishonest about what you are buying. Like I said, a microscopic disclaimer that reads download required is meant to be overlooked, and even worse, online listings for this game, which released in less than a week, mind you, and don't even have this disclaimer. If you order a physical copy from Amazon, GameStop, or Best Buy, there's an indication on the box or anywhere in the product that this disc itself will not contain the game. Alright guys, so there you go. And then talking about this physical versus the digital area. This is one, like I said, one step back for the physical area and one step forward for the digital area. We know the time's coming. We know this, and I'm going to pull this up quick too, because I'm going to show you that this is what some people have been talking about on it. So just reading this article right here, this guy just says thoughts, and you know, these people are saying here, as I agree, it's blank, but as the article point out, this isn't going away. We know that. We know that down the road. It didn't even mention the PS version of Metal Gear Solid 5 that came on a disc option that literally only included a link to download on Steam. Physical media games are going to be gone before we realize, and it's really behind the shadows. Everything's coming fast. But this is like what I was saying, like, who cares? This is essentially what discs have been for a while, is what this guy says. And obviously, I don't know. It's obviously his opinion. I'm not going to say anything bad about that because it is opinion. But yeah, here's another one. This is so lame, and Star Wars people are definitely people who want physical copies. Lots of overlap with those weirdos. I don't condone that. I'm a big Star Wars fan myself. So here's another one. So when they delist it 10 years from now, so they could sell a remastered version, you're effed even if you have the disc. So just interesting stuff is going on from there. And that's just it too, is that this is what they want you to do. They want you to rebuy the game 100 times and stuff, especially down the road and stuff like that. Like, I think I have 2 copies of Last of Us, the PS3 version, the PS4 version, there's a PS5 version, and instead of just giving out free upgrades physically for the graphics and stuff like that online, they're just going to make you rebuy the game, guys. So I want to know what you guys' opinions are on this below. I know there's a lot of mixed crowd out there about whether they want physical copy or digital copy. I'm in the middle. I like physical copies for certain games, especially modern ones like this. So I just bought Hogwarts Legacy. I will look over the case and see if it says something on there that's how it goes or what. So, and I'm hoping that if like I do install that and I do get the mandatory download and something like that, if I decide to sell this down the road, is somebody who buys it from me not going to be able to play it because I already used the download? If that's the case, that's messed up. But let me know what you guys think below. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And you know, we all have our choices, guys, whether we want to go physical or digital or not. Like I said, I have both. I like some games physical, like obviously my N64, a couple of my N64 games, and some stuff back there. But I'm not inclined to not also only use digital too. I love the Game Pass. I love Nintendo Switch expansion and stuff like that, so I can play a lot of games digitally as well. It's easier to get to. I don't have to hook up a bunch of systems, so each one has their place. But I do not think that in the future that we need to completely get rid of physical games like this and doing crap like this. I think it's amazing to have both options, and I think they definitely need to keep going on that route. So comment below what you guys think. I hope you're having a great day, and as always, stay retro, my friends, and we will see you in the next video.